what if shadows didn't exist?
Okay, so I didn't look at plants or people or anything. I looked at cameras, because cameras are like very reliant on light.
This is true.
So the way that old film cameras worked is they had a film that had like light sensitive chemicals on it, and actually kept it in like light proof cylinders so it wouldn't like ruin the film. And the way it works is when you push the button, the shutter opens and it lets some light in, and the light goes through the aperture, and then it hits the film, and the film sort of captures that information. And then when you want to develop it, they bring it to a dark room, they dip it in a bunch of chemicals, and that makes a bunch of negative images, and then they like flip the negative images to get the actual image that you see.
Mm-hmm.
If there are no shadows, none of this is possible at all.
Right.
Great.
So, yeah, there won't be any dark rooms, so you wouldn't be able to develop it, and you wouldn't even be able to take a picture in the first place because the film would just be ruined, like, instantly.
So what if I am a 21st century man and use a digital camera?
So digital cameras, that's what I was going to next.
Segways.
Yeah.
I know, I guessed it. I use my strong intuition that Chris was going to talk about digital cameras
Right,
next.
Sherlock Holmes over here.
By the power of deduction, there's two types of cameras.
So digital cameras don't require a darkroom to like develop it. It's just all electronic, but they do still have like they capture the image the same way. So instead of like light sensitive film, they just have like a light sensor, and then when you push the button, the shutter still opens, the light still goes through the aperture, and it just hits a sensor instead of film.
Mm-hmm.
So that process is still not possible. If you could somehow capture the information, then it would be possible, but there's no way to capture it.
Right.
So we wouldn't really be able to make pictures or like photos. We'd be able to like draw stuff, I guess. So our pictures would all be like hand drawn, like back in the olden days.
Or like, you can't do like photos in courtrooms, so there's always like the court like artists.
Yeah, I always like how long does it take them to make those?
I don't know, but have you seen that?
I mean, they have the whole trial.
Have you seen the I think it's Tom Brady. It's like the super fucked up version of Tom Brady from the court artist. Have you seen that picture?
No, I haven't seen that one. I was thinking of the Papa John's one.
Oh, Papa John's one was also really good.
Yeah. So, photo cameras aren't a thing anymore. Video cameras are also not a thing because video cameras are basically just, it works the same way as a photo camera, but it like the shutter rapidly opens and closes at like 24 frames per second, or they're starting to get higher than that, but it just takes like a bunch of pictures basically.
Right.
So no more video cameras. We don't have video anymore. So we can't have like live action movies, but we can have animated movies still. So all of our movies will be animated.
I like this idea.
So one really weird thing that I'm thinking about, so we as a culture won't know what shadows are. So everything's going to look really flat in CG.
Well,
I mean, it will in real life too, but
we don't need like that would reflect the real world.
It'll just be weird. Yeah,
like shadows aren't a thing.
Yeah. It's just I was thinking about like it's not just like it's not like everything's like Toy Story 3 because Toy Story 3 has fucking shadows in it. So
does your depth perception get fucked? Because
I'm actually wondering.
Maybe you're like because I think we recognize a lot of object shapes by their shadows.
Yeah.
I don't think depth perception is two images overlaid.
Yeah, that's nothing to do
I
with
think it
shadows.
messes up our like.
There.
I think what messes up is our like silhouette recognition.
Well, there would be no silhouette.
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about that.
There's still a silhouette because there's still like what you see when you see like a shape in the distance, but like it'll just be like the 2D shape of them because there's no like contour from the shadows.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Anyway, so we'd have a bunch of animated movies. Problem is we have really no way to like watch these animated movies because you probably tried to watch a movie on a projector in daylight before and it doesn't work at all.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And then screens like TV screens,
you can just like see it if a screen actually works. You can just like see it through a wall now, couldn't you?
See it through a wall
Because
it's just light.
The screen emits light.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, I just realized.
Oh
that.
God, all screens will become a giant Picasso painting, like that covers the entire world.
How would that work? Because the light's still being reflected off the wall, but then it's also the light from the screen's coming through it too from the other side.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you would see.
I don't know.
Probably
Things
a
are getting-
blend.
You would
of the
see
two
it fine.
images.
You would see it fine. Like, say you had a projector on your wall. You would see it fine. But also, your neighbor on the other side of the wall would see it fine.
Yeah.
And if you pointed your projectors at each other, then they would overlap.
Oh shit, we can do movie like mashups. This is great.
Sure.
I'm sorry, we've entirely derailed you at this point.
Well, I don't, because projectors wouldn't work at all because like there's light
Oh, right,
everywhere.
there's too much light,
so it
yeah.
cancels. It like, I don't know exactly what it does, but like sort of cancels out the picture.
Yeah. It just overwhelms. You can't make a projector bright enough to overwhelm the like natural light.
Yeah, I thought we were talking about screens because you said if you put a screen behind a wall.
Oh no, sorry. Yeah, I meant like a TV screen or like a computer screen.
yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
But even that, like, if you have a TV screen, you've probably had the problem where like there's a window behind you and it's sunny outside, so there's a huge glare on the TV.
Right.
Oh, I hate that.
So
That's your life now.
yeah, that's basically what the TV is. It's just a giant glare. They do have matte finished TVs that aren't glossy, but that just diffuses the light. It doesn't reflect it, but it diffuses it. So it like spreads it across the screen. So it just makes the entire picture brighter.
Yeah.
So that's not going to work either. They do have low glare screens with QLED TVs. It's not completely glareless, but it's low glare. But those could possibly work, I guess. But the thing is, after I discovered those QLED TVs, my mind kind of like looped back to the cameras, and I was like, wait a minute, your eyes work like cameras.
That's a good point.
Your eyelids are the shutters. Your eye itself is like the sensor or the film or whatever. So you can't really close your eyes or anything. That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ben, what's your studies about people having their eyes open all the time?
Yeah.
It's not great. Well, I mean, so you still
Not
at
great for
least, like,
sleeping, bad for sleeping.
you still at least like, move the liquid around your eye and get, dust away and stuff, so that's cool. But when you close your eyes, you still see just fine. So that's fucking weird.
Yeah, I think this question, the cracks are starting to show and it's falling apart. I think we gotta get out
Are
of
you
here.
guys just blinking right now and like wondering
uncomfortably
about it?
and
Yeah.
yes.